Welcome everyone, in this video I'll be taking you through how to create a page. To create a page, let's go to the Pages section and click the blue item button at the bottom. Enter a title for the page, example, Courses, and you will see the URL will automatically fill itself in. Select Status, Online and click Save. This is how you create a page. Head back to the page we just created and click on the component box and choose a zigzag. In the zigzag, you can add an image, title, paragraph and button. If you click on the entire zigzag, you can choose to reverse its position. This can be used if you want to put multiple zigzags underneath each other with alternating positions. Let's look at an example of this. In this page from this website, we can see all the zigzags underneath each other. You can also alternate them in a color like this one. Let's head back to the page we just created. Under the image in the zigzag, we can also click the plus sign and add another image or images, or a video or a form. Underneath the button, you can also add another button or a heading or a text. Lastly, do not forget, you can also add an anchor to zigzags and use buttons to refer them to in another page. Let us look at an example. Here is a button in the header of this page, and if we click it, it goes directly to the zigzag link. That is all you need to know for zigzags. Call to actions do exactly as the name suggests. It calls the viewer to action, in this case the action being to click on a button. If we click on the call to action, we see a space to add an image that also stretches across the page. However, you can change this on the right side panel. You can also add a color. Let's select an image. Next, we can add a title. Let's add a title. And lastly, a button that will call the viewer to action. Let's name the button. And now click on it and add a title, link, and window to open in. Now let's preview it. And here you can see the call to action. It is a creative way to add a button with an image. Let's click the button and now we are taken to another page. USPs are intended to create a simple overview of something, possibly supplemented with logos above the different items. Let's look at an example of this. To create a USP, click on the component block and select USP. You will see 4 image spaces with underlying text and buttons. Simply add in the logos, a short description, and a button that links to the page for these logos. And that's how you create a USP. Overview serves as the name suggests, an overview or summary of specific content. You can create overview pages itself for various content such as articles, reading plans, and courses. And you can also create an overview block at the bottom of a page with content. Let's head to our previous page. At the bottom, click the component and select Overview. Here you can add a title for the overview. For example, check out our articles below. When we click on the Overview block on the right-hand panel, we see Module, Displayed Amount, Show Categories, Show More, and a Show More text. By module, you can select content, for example, articles. In the displayed amount, you can choose to either show 4, 8, or 12 articles in the overview. You can choose to show categories. Generally, you should keep this on. And if you would like to show more meaning, you can also add a button that leads to a page with all the articles in the system. So, a random set of 4, 8, or 12 will be displayed on the page, but the viewer can click on Show More and see then all of the other articles. If you want the button to say something different, such as more articles instead of Show More, you can type that in the Show More text box. Let's view an example of this. Here you can see an overview at the bottom of the page displaying some articles. If I click on the button, I am taken to the entire page with all the articles in the system. This is the idea of using an overview. Modules serve as a similar purpose to overviews in that they can display a summary of content. The difference is that modules allow you to pick specific articles, reading plans, or courses. This is instead of a general and random overview. Let's head to the page we created. Go to the component box and select the module. We see a space to add a title. And if we click on the module block, on the right panel, you'll see the following. Module, Show More, and Show More text. This is the exact same as the overview, except when you select a module, for example, articles, in the drop box over here, below you can select a specific article that you want to add in. Let's see an example of this. Here you can see a module was added, and 4 specific articles were added. Using 4 articles looks better on a page from the options of either 4, 8 or 12. You can use this if you want to choose specific articles or courses that link to the theme of a page or a content block. Columns display content just as the name suggests. They display them like columns, which generally means they will be next to each other. Let's create a column. Head to the page we created and click on the component block, and then select the column. Immediately, 2 columns are created. Let's click on one column. You can see that you can either add content or blocks. The content you can add are images, videos, or forms, and the blocks you can create are call to actions and testimonials. You can display the same type of content or blocks next to each other or different ones. That is how you use columns. An anchor is used to create a link to a page itself or another page. To create an anchor for the page itself, go to a block or text and click on the anchor. Then give the anchor a name. Let's call this one Anchor, for example. Normally you will give it a name that makes sense with the content. So for example, if the text box is a prayer form, you will call it Prayer Form. Then let's link this anchor somewhere in the page. Let's head to the top of the page, underneath the title, and click the plus sign and add in an anchor. In this case, the anchor is a button. Let's give this button the same name as the anchor and choose the link as an anchor. And here we can see the anchor we just made. Then you can change the style to an arrow and have it pointed to the right. Remember, this is to help the viewer to see that this is a clickable button. Now let's preview it. And now as I click on the button, it goes directly to the section with the anchor. And that's everything you need to know for anchors.